All right, let's take a look at some of the balance changes now. So the first one that we're going to take a look at are arena carriables. There were some changes that were made to them. Basically, arena carriables are going to be much easier thrown. So let's take even this one, which is a heavy one. You are able to throw these just a little bit further now. And they also do more damage if you decide to throw these at people for whatever reason. So I guess maybe if you're trying to get some of those achievements or something like that, it's going to be a little bit easier. They also added these new health canisters, which when you throw these like this, they create a little bit of a healing field. Some of you guys might remember this from a World Tour event back in the day, but they are now finally in the game. And for those of you wondering how much health they heal at what rate, let me take some damage right here. Let's throw this down right here. And that's roughly how much health you regenerate. So it's not a ton, but pair this with a healing beam and you'll be healing a lot. Or maybe just even in the middle of a gunfight, it might give you just enough health for you to win that 1v1. A lot of people were also complaining about this charm right here. And they made it so the charm now moves 100% of the time. So if I get a kill... Yep, there it goes. Proximity sensor did end up catching a nerf. It is now easier to shoot these things. Much easier. I don't know why, but it always seemed like the hitbox was smaller than the gadget itself. But now it should be a lot easier to hit this thing. And now what everyone has been waiting for, or dreading depending on what kind of player you are, the stun gun is now back in the game, but it's not called the stun gun anymore. It's called the Nullifier. And what the Nullifier does is it basically takes people out of the game for a little bit. And while they're in this state, I'm pretty sure they regenerate health, and you can definitely still sprint around. You just can't shoot, basically. So what this is just saying, you go out of the fight for a little bit. It's not a free kill or even just like free damage anymore. So in certain situations, this can actually help the enemy team if you aren't careful with it, but it can still be super valuable for taking people out of certain gunfights, for stopping cash out steals, for making people drop cash boxes, or if you just need to get away and don't want someone to shoot at you. Winch Claw did end up getting a little bit of a buff. Now when you winch someone, they get the same weapon inaccuracy as if they were falling. So now you might be taking a little bit less damage as a sledge user. 50 Akimbos did end up getting a range nerf, but you're only going to notice it if you're like aiming at someone from this range right here. So right here, as you can see, I'm not doing very much damage at all. But if I was to aim at someone like right here, for instance, I'm still doing a fine amount of damage. 9-3R, on the other hand, got a bit of a range buff, so now it is a little bit more comparable to the FAMAS. Overall, nice quality of life buff. The ARN's fast reload is now even faster. Take a look at this. That's pretty fast. Cerberus got the SA-12 treatment and got one pellet removed from it, so now instead of doing 120 base damage, it now does 110 plus the burn effect. Where you're really going to notice this is that you can no longer one-shot lights. They will survive, but you can also just throw out a quick melee too. And against mediums, you can still two-shot them, and against heavies, you can still three-shot them. So what this is really going to do is it's going to make it so the Cerberus might not get that two-shot or three-shot kill quite as often, and it's not going to kill light players quite as fast unless you also hit them with a quick melee. So basically, the old model combo. The FAMAS got a bit of a range nerf, but once again, you aren't really going to notice it unless you're aiming at someone like way over here, right? So it's not going to do much damage against this target right here. But let's say that you are aiming at this heavy right here. Your damage is still going to be fine. I really don't think most people are going to notice this FAMAS nerf. EMBARK said that they don't like the movement minigun very much, which is really unfortunate because I really like the movement minigun. They haven't done anything to it yet, but they said that they're looking into it. Whatever they do to it, I hope they don't nerf it too bad because this is probably the most fun I've had on heavy in a long time, but they did say that they are going to look into it. The devs are still too scared to give the model a damage buff, but they did give it an RPM increase and a range buff. So it's going to be a little bit more consistent, but it is still, in my opinion, not as good as old model. We are now at the last two weapons. We have the Revolver, which got a bit of a range buff. So now it's going to be overall a little bit more consistent over those slightly longer ranges. And then SA-12 got a nerf, kind of, but it also kind of got a buff. Its RPM got decreased by 10, but it now cycles its little barrels faster. So just to demonstrate on this heavy right here, That cycle animation is a bit faster, but just the damage itself is a bit slower. I guess EMBARK thought that the SA-12 was still too strong. I thought it was fine, really, but all right. What you're really going to notice this on is against lights, it's going to be just a little bit slower. And against mediums, it's also going to be just a little bit slower. But honestly, it's not that huge of a change that I imagine your average player is going to notice anything at all. This is probably only going to affect like the pro scene. But yeah, that was everything in today's update. There are now some Twitch drops that are going to be available. So if you want to watch your favorite finals content creators on Twitch, go ahead and do that. You could also check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ronin__FPS, and get any of these rewards right here just by watching. I'll probably be live later today if you want to come check me out then. Hope to see you there. But yeah, that's everything for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.